So before I get into describing the motion and how the committee was established, I just thought I'd do a bit of a straw poll of the room, because I know a lot of you, but I don't know everybody. So what I thought I'd do is first ask, for my own interest and also for the ministers, how many people here are from Saturna? That's a great turnout from Saturna as ever. How many of you are from somewhere else in my riding, Sandwich Gulf Islands? And how many of you have come here today from somewhere outside of Sandwich Gulf Islands? That's great. Very interesting. Okay, so we have a bigger turnout and a more diverse crowd than we often have in Saturna. But Saturna is, and I think we'll all agree, the center of the known universe.
Salt Spring.
It only makes, what's that, John?
That's Salt Spring.
Oh, no, Salt Spring thinks it's the center. Exactly. Now this, of course, is being live streamed from Salt Spring Island, where they will know how to share. Okay. So the next thing I want to ask, I tried this in my town hall last night in Sydney. How many of you in this room know of Trudeau's promise that 2015 will be the last election held under first past the vote? How many of you support the Prime Minister's resolution that 2015 be the last election held under first past the vote? How many have a firm view of what system we should use instead? How many of you would support some form of proportional representation?
What does it mean?
That's a good question, Pat. This is the straw poll. I'm going to do the poll again at the end of the meeting. By then we should. Okay, how many of you are very specifically in favor of one form of POR versus another? Okay. And how many of you believe that on top of the work of our electoral reform committee, there needs to be additional legitimacy for a change in our voting system, such as a citizens' assembly or a referendum or some other test of legitimacy? Okay. All right. So that's very helpful. Now let me say what it is that is happening right now across Canada. There are a variety of ways that the Government of Canada is seeking the input of Canadians as to how to change our voting system and what system we should be adopting. There are three major streams that are going on. And in fact, residents of Southern Vancouver Island have access to all three. The three major streams are town hall meetings held by a local MP. You're in one. The report from this meeting will go into a common format that the Committee on Electoral Reform has adopted, because theoretically, if every MP held a town hall meeting, we would have access to a minimum of 338 reports on town hall meetings. But we can't force MPs to hold town hall meetings if they don't want to. Some, like me, are holding more than one. Others are holding less than one. But we will have a way of putting all that information into a common format. So that's one way of public consultation. Town hall meetings held by MPs. The second way is that the Electoral Reform Committee, of which as I mentioned, I'm a member, and I'll talk about how it's structured. That committee hears from witnesses. We've now had 23 meetings held in Ottawa through the months of July and August. I felt, in end of June, I have to say, I'm not blaming you, Minister, I'm fine, but I felt like a kid at the end of school in June who says, yay, school's over, I got summer school. So I was back and forth to Ottawa all summer long, and we have so far been in our first phase mostly listening to experts, academic experts from all around the world, as well as from people who are electoral officers or academics from countries that use some form of PR or another. So we've listened to people and met with people by video link, ever mindful of the tax dollar. We have met by video link with experts from New Zealand, Australia, from Scotland, from Germany, and we still have more with whom we want to meet. And then we're going to hit the road. So starting September 19th in Regina, and wrapping up after we go to Iqaluit after Thanksgiving, we will have visited every province and territory. So again, for residents of this part of British Columbia, the Parliamentary Committee on Electoral Reform, 12 MPs, will be holding meetings and public hearings in Victoria on September 27th. We do not yet have a location because the clerk of the committee has to do all those bookings and it's complicated and bureaucratic, but hold September 27th in your mind. If you can, please come into Victoria. There will be, and this is the format for every city and town to which we will be visiting. We'll have an afternoon session where we sit around the table and hear witnesses in the more conventional formal way. And in the evenings, in every community, every provincial capital and extra places that we can get to, and every territorial capital, we will have an open mic public session, first come, first serve, where people can come to the mic and speak for 2 to 3 minutes. The third stream of public consultation is that Minister Maryam Monsef, the Minister for Democratic Institutions, is attending town halls as well. So you get three opportunities, because tonight is at my town hall and the Honorable Maryam Monsef is here to attend.